For me, it's always been about painting the human face. It's the first symbol we as human beings see is our mother's face. My mother is a painter, her sister and brother were painters, so I've always been inspired and encouraged to paint, and I've always been interested in painting people. That's what really interests me. I've always been working with the material to create a human face. I was told that if you could paint a human face, that you could paint anything. I don't know about that, but it is a fundamental symbol, the fundamental symbol of the human visual iconography. In New York, I found myself at the Met a lot, copying my favorites, Rembrandt most notably. I mean, I still like to go to the museum and do copies, but really painting from life is what I enjoy the most. And sometimes at the museum, I'll just find myself sketching the people who are standing there, and then when I get back to the studio, I'll turn them into these little paintings. You know, I think it's through the face, really, that we come to discover the bigger picture. I've heard it said in the art world that to paint a face, that is to paint humanity, is base and introspective, and that abstraction is closer to the divine, but I disagree. Figurative painting is the best of both worlds. The surface of the face, no, that's egocentric. But when you look into it, when you go deeper into the meditation, into yourself, into the face of humanity, you come to understand first the egocentric, true, but then we come to an understanding of how we relate to other people, the sociocentric, and then the world-centric view comes next, which a lot of people are still having a hard time with, and ultimately a cosmocentric view, which is the spiritual realm. A beautiful painting can unite us, and the human face is the core symbol that we have in our visual iconography. The deeper we go into ourselves, the more we understand about the universe. That's where we find it, and that's what the myths tell us. That's very basic. As far as my technique's concerned, I painted it once, so I can paint it again, so I keep painting the same thing over and over again in the same place until I get that certain vibration that I'm after. Well, no, I love talking about philosophy of painting, but I guess the problem that I have with my philosopher friends is that they start talking about the Enlightenment as if it was something that happened 350 years ago, and my idea, it's something that's yet to come. Maybe it'll happen this afternoon. But of course, by saying that, I reveal the romantic undercurrents of my soul. One time there was a group of us in Nerdrum Studio talking about the idea that if you can paint a face, then you can paint anything. And then everybody sort of left, and Odd and I were there by ourselves, and he asked me, what do you think about that, Brandon? And I said, if you can paint a face, then you can paint anything. He's like, yeah. I laughed. I'm like, well, I think it's a good start. And he got all excited. He's like, yes, a good start. That's exactly what it is, a good start. And then we started talking about painting multiple faces and hands and figures, all in atmosphere and a landscape, all bathed in the golden, beautiful light of eternity. And in those moments, I started to become aware of, from that very first symbol of my mother's face, all the other symbols of my iconography, of my mythology, are constructed and put together like instruments in a symphony. That's the power of figurative painting. It's really wonderful. You have to hold still.
I have to stop laughing.
Take two.